past week on Burke Learns Blazor.
I talked Burke into a potentially bad idea. I don't know. So here's Burke, that was actually not last week.
No, that was also terrifying. Like I was legitimately scared through the whole thing.
I don't know how I had time to do that, but it was a lot of fun. I'm very excited. So we're like, we have to go live basically for all the reasons. One, because it's driving us nuts, and also there's like problems that like are going to explode if we don't deploy.
Yeah, we have to ship this thing. We're at the point that every developer gets to where the last 20% of the project takes like the other 80% of the development time.
Yes. Oh, wow. Okay, we got some friends on already. We got Fool Snabble. We got Blazor Mr. Magoo, which is great because they're going to have to help us. We've got some serious problems to solve.
Yeah, this is not easy. I mean, we are really into it. We're in a pickle. We're in a pickle.
So, let me see if I remember correctly. We built the whole thing using static web. That's a great idea. Off and on again. Okay, we wanted to have Twitter login, which is part of the reason we started this whole effort. It turns out Twitter login is essentially not going to be supported on static web apps because of many reasons for Blazor, and we kind of need to like just migrate off of it. And like the existing app is like, we can't leave it there. And so what we need to do is migrate the accounts to our multi-auth login thing, but we're no longer able to support Twitter login. So we basically, when people log in, they're going to have to go through an account migrator that says, hey, you know, do you want to migrate your account or whatever? And it does like a one-time migration using a custom function thing that you wrote, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. Although it may not be the best solution. And we've talked about this before, but it's you and I, so we've been out for a month. And the reason why is because we had build and
we did have build
graduations here. And so we haven't really had a chance to look at this. We kind of shelved it and we're like, we got to pick it back up and do it today. And I think y'all, I'm just going to code today on this stream until this gets done.
Okay.
You can just hang out and watch the slow decline.
Oh, I have something set up for this.
Oh, what is it?
It's Leroy Jenkins. Yeah. That's where we're just going for it. We have to drop off. Hey, it's Burke. I mean, it's Sean and it's Burke. And also listen. Oh, here's Frank. We got a party.
Hey, Frank's here. What's up, Frank? Yeah, it's
tricky.
I think we really need to back up and begin at the beginning here, John. Like let's go back to let's look at where we are with the app, talk about the problem, and then work from there. That's all we
Sounds
can really do. We have to regroup.
Okay.
So let me.
Do you want me to share my screen?
I'll share my screen. I just need
Okay.
to close all of my Slack and Teams and all this business, so you don't have to be bothered with the tedium of my day job, which is not very glamorous at all.
You've been busy. Were you pretty
display.
busy during build?
Would I what?
Were you pretty busy during build?
Not really, because I wasn't a part of it this year. I basically, because we had graduations here, so I didn't go. So I basically foisted it all onto the VS Code team, and they did it all. It's great. I've learned, just get the product team to do all the evangelism stuff, John. This is the life hack, and then you don't have to do anything at all.
Yeah. I started May by going to Techrama, Belgium, and then I went to DevSum, Sweden. And I also, while I was over there, I spoke at 2 companies and I spoke at a meetup. So I was pretty busy. Oh, and I saw Taylor Swift.
No, you didn't.
I did. It was crazy.
Why would you do that?
Okay, so we were over in Stockholm and we were like, oh, it's crowded here. And people are like, yeah, because there's a Taylor Swift concert. And we were like, ha ha ha. And somebody went on StubHub and they're like, there's tickets going for like $100.
No way.
And I mean, you know, with the fees and all that, it's at least double that, but still not thousands of dollars, right? You know, and so it turns out people were flying from the US to Stockholm and also to Paris and other cities to see Taylor Swift. And so I was sitting there with Scott Hunter and he's like, I saw the show in the US. It was crazy expensive, but it was, you know, I took my daughters. It was awesome. He's like, we should go. I was like, or he said, I'm going. I'm like, all right, I'm in.
He's going twice. So let the record show that Scott Hunter has seen Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Okay, live, at least that we know of 2 times.
It was a 3-hour show. I got to say, so impressive. Like doing anything like at that level for 3 hours. Bro, look, I don't know if you can code for 3 hours.
I can barely stream for the hour and a half. I'm exhausted. I need a nap.
Yeah. It was, and I knew like 5 songs and it didn't matter. It was so fun. It was really cool.
Which 5 songs did you know, John?
Like the you know, like the 2014-ish era. Trouble, the one the one where they have the screaming goats on. I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
Hold on, that one. I've lost my display. Hold on. There we go. I'm back. Okay, you can I can share my screen. I got to share my screen. Yeah, you know, look, at the risk of making people extremely angry.
I think you're the only angry person. Everyone else is so happy today.
I'm not angry. I'm tired. I had a rough night. But I do want to say, I really like Taylor Swift.
I got to say I'm a fan.
Circa 2013, 14. Everything after that is a huge miss for me. Yeah. And I just don't think it's that good, y'all. I want to be on record as saying it feels a bit overrated. It's not that it's bad. I mean, maybe, but at the same time, yo, anybody that can fly around the world like that and do I can't believe you said that. You can't, you're not allowed to say that.
Oh no, everyone's dropping off the chat.
I bet it is. I haven't been to the concert though. I'm going to guess though, that's probably the best bang you can get for your buck, right? You're not going to get a better concert experience than that.
I mean, I've seen a few concerts. It was pretty amazing. It was, I mean, you know, yeah, it was.
It's because you're old.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not in the demographic. That much is true. It's like, you know, if it was Simon and Garfunkel, I don't know, maybe my review would be good.
There you go.
Okay. Now that I've alienated 2 entire generations, let me share my screen. Cancel Microsoft. They hate Taylor Swift.
Hey, I want the record to show.
Taylor haters. I didn't say I hated her. I said I thought it was overrated.
Let those who have seen a live Taylor Swift performance, I think that's the cutoff. You have to be at that level to make a pronunciation.
Yeah, I guess I'm not allowed to have an opinion because I haven't seen. Like, we have local elections here. this is a weird segue, but we have, you have local elections. There's like school board members or aldermen. That's what we have. I don't know. Maybe y'all have city council or whatever. It's the same thing. Yeah. And I don't vote in those because,
you're running for it. Which one are you running for? Alderman?
No, I'm not. I'm not running. No, absolutely not. But I don't vote. But then I complain, and my wife's like, you don't get to complain if you don't vote, right? You can't, if you didn't go do the thing, you're not allowed to say anything about it.
Yeah.
All right. This keeps asking me to upgrade my functions core tools. And I've already done it.
Oh, I forgot about this. I created a special layout for us.
Oh. I guess this is working. I don't know. Let's run this thing. I have to remember how to run it.
Okay, your screen. Okay, wait. So you got to click that hide thing at the bottom, or it's going to drive you.
Oh yeah, it's going to drive you nuts. All right, so let's run this. Let's run the new URL list. .NET watch. Is that what it is? It's been that long.
Yeah. Well, depends. You do func start. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, because there's our warnings. I know these warnings. I love them.
So once we're deployed, I'm going to fix all the warnings. I'm going to turn on that. We need the dark mode too. I realized we coded up a whole dark mode and we haven't.
I know it's not even there. We won't like it as much. Okay, and then let's go
func start.
Let's go fire up the API. So we've got to do that, right?
Yeah, I can throw us. Does it? I don't know. For people watching, I like moving us out of the way of the code. But I don't know if that makes people dizzy or like frustrated. Okay.
Well, there's no such thing as a package.json. So, but there is. What happens if I just do that? What happens if I do this?
Don't you do func start? Oh no, you do swath start.
I'm starting the emulator. I forget how much configuration I did and like what do I need to manually start and what will
I think you do swath start. Yeah. Blazor Mr. Magoo is
waiting for this. Okay, so I do need to start the API.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna now. So there's options on fixing the warnings. One is to treat as error. The other is pragma ignore, which is technically fixing the warning. So, in my definition.
Let's go. Okay, we're up and running. This is where we want to be.
We're off to a good start.
Let's close that. Okay, so if we log in, there's no Twitter login. This is the emulator. This actually doesn't work in production. So what we want to do is when people the conundrum here is that the current database stores the username from the person who's logged into Twitter. That's how we know who you are. We actually we don't hash the username or anything because it's not an email address. It's not sensitive.
Right.
And because we can't log into Twitter anymore with static web apps, we don't know. There's no way for these people to get at to edit their existing lists.
Yeah.
So what we need for them to do is log in with a different provider, one of these.
Yep.
And then
migrate.
Yeah. And we need to know.
Yeah.
We need to know who they are on Twitter. So the idea originally here that we were working with was we would create a second site that just handles the migration. And what we would do is, and I think we actually implemented the UI for this.
We meaning you.
I think so. If we switch over to one of these other branches. I think it was the custom auth branch, maybe. Oh, man, this is so bad. This is coming back to a project. This is what it's like in the real world, man.
Yeah. This is part of why we got it. Like once the code gets old enough, then you forget all the what's happening stuff.
This goes back to 4280. All right. So what we did was we coded up this UI that's like, where is Twitter login? With this basically explanation that said we had to remove it. But don't worry, once you log in, but you need to pick a different provider. So let's say you pick the GitHub provider. And you log in. And this is a little broken. We can talk about that. Not important. What's important is that when you go to my lists, that there's this import button. And the import button is what kicks off the whole process. And essentially the flow is that flow. Yo, give me a new tab here. Oh, I can't. It's like this. Flow. Send user to migration site with the new login info and the query string URL, right? So it's something like if you're going to dummy this up, it would be like migration site kind of.
Oh, there's a token though, right? You're passing along some, because we don't want to actually pass.
We don't pass a password. We're passing the username and the provider.
Don't we also do something to prevent stealing someone else's links? Some sort of.
No, well, basically no. What we do is then the new site receives this URL, right? So new site displays a page with a confirmation, right? And it basically says you're about to migrate to, your Twitter account to, the new username provider.
Yeah.
Right. Provider that we're pulling from the query string. And then when people click continue, this is where things get ugly. So what we need to do now is this new site then needs to send them through the Twitter auth. Now, why does this work there but doesn't work in static web apps? Because the Twitter auth still works in places like Azure Functions.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work in static web apps because they handle auth differently.
Although I'm not, I mean, yes, and it probably will work a lot longer, but I'm still, we don't know how long. I mean, it could stop working there someday.
It could.
Not. Yeah.
Okay, so this site, you click continue, new site sends you through the Twitter auth flow, right? Which looks something like this, but then we need to pass with it this stuff here. This needs to go with it.
Can you do that? Can you send?
You can, but you can only send one variable.
Can it be like one big?
It's like migrationsite.com/auth Twitter. So you can send like user data, and then you can send some JSON stringified.
Wonderful.
Right? You can only send one parameter. You can't send multiples.
Yeah, but the magic
because the first one is going to be post login redirect because he needs to know where to send you back to, and then the second one is going to be the user data.
Okay.
Right. So when you come back, right? So you return to the migration site.
Mm-hmm.
And now we know your Twitter name.
Okay, wait.
We don't display it to you.
Frank's
but we have it on the back end.
Okay. Frank says, could use Anthony Chu NuGet to manage auth. It's not an official library, however. Do we know about that?
No, what is it?
I don't know. Anthony Chu NuGet. He's created something. We haven't talked. We had a special meeting with Anthony.
What's he talking? What is it?
I don't know. Let me look.
I can go over to NuGet and look for it.
NuGet auth.
Static Web Apps Blazor Authentication?
What? That's .NET 5, so that's looking a bit old.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, Frank, static web apps is not going to authenticate to Twitter no matter what we do. Period. That is confirmed with the static web apps team.
Yeah. So that was circa .NET 5 and things have. Yeah.
So when we come back to the site, we now know a couple things, right? We know the new username and provider, which are part of the query string.
Mm-hmm.
And we know the Twitter username, okay, which we don't display. We don't show it to the user, but we have it on the back end system. When the function executing in Azure knows because it's in the client principal.
Do we want to show it, or we assume they've just logged it, they've authenticated on Twitter? So
no, because we're actually, when they return to the migration site, because we have this, we're gonna do the import right now. Right?
Okay.
So when we hit the site, we do the import. So in the import, we're going to query the database for all records where the user ID matches the Twitter username from the client principal. Okay. Then we're going to update those records with the new username and provider, which are going to be hashed.
Mm-hmm.
Because
the
we don't just... Provider is not hashed, but the username is. Yeah? Okay. Yes. Okay. Then what are we going to do? We're going to return a success message to the user with a button that says, go to new site, go to the urls.com, right? And that's going to take them back to that page. That's the whole flow. That's the idea.
I recommend we save this to an issue on the GitHub repo now, just in case.
All right, let's do this. This is, and it's, I didn't format this the best.
Yeah, whatever. Just so we have for the record, our plan of record.
This is the C# version that I did.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't quite work.
I know some C#.
And then I did another one.
Up at the top, if you go to projects, you could drop it in an issue on projects.
We got issues here? You can do an issue?
Yeah. Or, whatever, create a task in our project. Just create an item in to do and throw this in. Migration.
It's right here. It's already there, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So click on that guy. And then you can do, yeah. Cool. All right. I just want to make sure that I'll be able to know this.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to the implementation that I did. It keeps asking me to do this, and I've done it.
Oh, is it? Does it not complete?
Slap it in the terminal here. Now I need, how do you initialize a local settings.json file for, does anybody know?
Local settings.json.
Why did it fail? Node a complete log. What's the problem?
Clean out. Failed to remove some directories.
It's like, oh, they're busy or something. I'm not going to worry about this right now. I don't think it's a blocker. How do I do this? I need a local settings.
Oh,
is there like
you want an Azure Functions local settings? You could copy from our other project.
Is there not a initialize project for use of Visual Studio Code? Want that one up. Let's remove this and try again. I think the initialize. No, it doesn't do it. I need a local settings or this isn't going to work.
I have a local settings file. How can I pass it to you? I'll send it in our chat thing. Oh, but it'll mangle it probably. just sent you.
Give me a simple local.settings JSON file for Azure Functions.
Of course.
You didn't know, John. Copilot. There it is. Copilot is the answer to everything.
That's a very simple one. It is an answer to many things. Is the runtime .NET?
No.
Okay. Everything else
No.
good?
Will this work?
So normally I think you also need a host. After values, you need to put like comma and host and start typing, and it'll do.
Oh, do you need for like cores? Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Copilot. Thanks, Copilot. Let's do 7072 because the other one's running. I think maybe this will. All right, so let's look at what we built so far. So we're using Azure Functions, and we're actually like exploiting
leveraging.
We're leveraging a strat here to display web pages from Azure Functions. Azure Functions is not it's not really built for that, to like return web pages, but it can. So the problem is
HTML, right?
The problem is you can't take templates and reference them, because when you deploy this, they won't be there. And this was the problem that I ran into. And so what I did was I built this like compile step where it takes these files here at build time and it slaps them into this file here where it tells you not to edit it.
Wow.
That's it.
Saves, it saves them. It exports as constants.
Right.
Yeah,
because if you can have a separate TypeScript file, that's fine in Azure Functions, but you can't just have this won't get deployed. It won't even be there. Then there's no way around this. But code files, no problem. So fine, we'll just stick it in a code file. By the way, Copilot wrote this. I was like, hey, Copilot,
that's impressive.
Compile the templates and put them in. Yeah. And it did it. So like this looks impressive, but it was actually really easy. Okay. So when we are going to the home page, we're looking for these params to get the query, the object from the query string that should have the user data. And it looks like I just called it data. So in this case, user data was null, which is exactly what we're seeing here. So if we say data equals, and then I think the structure of this thing is username and identity provider, right? So it would be username.
You could even use Copilot to generate. Well, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, that's true. I could.
You could just do a comment.
I wonder if it will do this. Hold on. So generate a query string parameter that matches the shape of the new user. No, it needs to be like, it would be data equals username. Username doesn't matter. And then identity provider. I'll just say it's GitHub. Okay. Okay. So if we try this again.
Do you have to like encode it?
Okay. All right. So this works. We're at least this far.
That's exciting.
Telling people, click below to log into Twitter and have your existing lists migrated to admin signed in with GitHub. Now, everything that happens from here on out is going to be really difficult because we can't test it locally. All we can do is deploy.
Okay. Can we deploy it and run it against a fake database or a small?
Yes.
So we could create
but
a small...
really, I think where I got stuck here, if I remember. So when in the home file here, you're signed in, the prod URI. Because in the post login redirect, not exactly sure what's going on here. Let's deploy this thing and that'll help. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to start over, man.
Okay.
Okay. Azure Functions, new function app, new function app, new function app, create function app, create function app in Azure. I actually wanted to be advanced. I've done this so many times.
Burke, I'm gonna reload on coffee.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Because I'm, contributing quite a bit here. I'm just color commentary. BRB.
All right, we're doing consumption, right, y'all? Location for new resources. East US is fine. Node 18 is fine. I believe that's what I'm using locally. And we'll run it on Linux. Resource group. This is fine. Storage account. I don't know why. I don't think we need one of those. No application insights. Okay. While that's happening, y'all, another thing we need to do here is we need to get a Twitter auth key to do the flow. Why am I on the front page of? Let's retweet this. Can you run VS Code on a Raspberry Pi? I don't even know if I should retweet this. I don't know how the VS Code team would feel about me taking a position on whether or not you can run. Should I? You know what the answer is, chat? I can't see the chat. The answer is don't, but instead just use the remote SSH. And then you can code like you're on the Raspberry Pi, but you're not. And actually, you can do a lot with the Raspberry Pi. My wife has this, I think I've talked about this before. She has a small business where she sets up yard signs. I don't know if y'all have seen this where you live. Maybe you have this, maybe you don't. Where somebody will have like a birthday, and in the yard, the sign will say like happy birthday, right? If you've seen this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, well, she owns one of those franchises here where we live, and she has a lot of business processes, not a lot, a couple, right? When an order comes in, automatically print the order, and like I'm the dude writing all this software, and all of it's running on a Raspberry Pi. So, a Raspberry Pi is her development server. I mean, her production business server, and it works. It works. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. So we need to log in here as a different user. And I don't remember. I want to say. Don't remember what the name of the account was. John, can you pull me off the screen for a second while I go to my email?
Remove your gone.
Am I gone?
You're gone.
All right. Not that there's anything in my email that I know of.
Who knows?
Yeah. So I'm just going back through here to try to figure out what is the name. I think it's URList app. Let me see. Plus URList app. I think that's what it is. Now, chat, y'all know what this is?
We can't see your screen.
Oh, you can pull me back.
All right, here we go.
What is this,
What is
John?
it? Who is what?
This right here. What is this?
Oh, I know this. Gmail.
Scott Kate taught me this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can add anything after the plus in Gmail, and it is like you can use it as a label, but it's like not Gmail ignores it.
Correct.
Everything gets
to
routed
Twitter.
to
It's a
that.
completely different account.
Which
Same
is
email.
great, right? So
Right.
You can use one email for multiple accounts. There's things. That is a clever hack.
All right.
I'd forgotten about that. I used to do that. I would do like for signups for things that were probably spam. I would do John Galloway plus spam at Gmail or whatever.
Wrong password. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go through this flow here.
Tell me again if you want to go off screen.
Confirm your username.
Oh, you can. I didn't know that. You can do it in O365 also. If you
Yeah, pull me off because I got to go back to email.
Okay. All right. Coming off and whoop.
Safe.
Safe.
All right. Okay, keep me off for a second.
Yep.
Sent me an email getting the code.
I'm creating coffee using my AeroPress.
Riveting content for a Friday.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Ready to go back on?
Not quite,
Oh my gosh.
but almost. Change the password.
I also could use an overlay.
Okay, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Soon though. I'm going to play some background music.
Developer.twitter.com. Okay, now you can put me back on.
This is my 8-second loop that I made for us. Okay. Okay.
All right, so am I back on? So let's
No,
go
you ready to go back on?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, here goes.
All right, so here's our so first of all, what's the URL? /API/home. This isn't working. This isn't even working. Oh, because I didn't deploy anything. That would help, Burke. Get your freaking life together, man. Let's compile, and then we'll deploy. When I deploy, do I deploy just the dist folder? Does anybody know in chat, or do I deploy the whole project?
Doesn't the func or whatever have a deploy thing? Or do you do AZD?
No, I just right click and say deploy to function app.
Mm.
In this case, because it's just the easiest way to do it.
Okay. Fine. I don't know, because so they're pushing AZD in the .NET world, and apparently it also is a thing in the JavaScript world, I think.
I think it's multi-language,
multi-things,
platform, all the things. What's a rimraf? I don't even know. I see this all the time. I don't know what it is.
I think I know it. It's short for rm-rf. It's basically saying remove a folder.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So in the Linux world, you can type rm-rf and it'll remove. It basically nukes a folder. You have to be careful with it because if you run it in the wrong root or whatever, you can delete your entire.
Oh, so that's basically like the phonetical. Somebody made a package, I'm assuming, called rimraf.
It's just a cute way of saying rm-rf.
Yeah. Today I learned.
Yeah.
All right. So now it's deployed. Maybe it works now. I don't know. Okay. That's what we want. All right. So user data was null. But if you remember,
Okay.
we can do, what was it? Data. Hold on. We put it over here so that we don't have to.
Right.
Bam. Now we need to configure this app to do authentication.
Okay.
So I want to go to this function app in Azure. So let me view in portal, open in portal. I'm probably gonna have to change my login here. This is fine.
Is this your personal?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't do anything on Microsoft's tier.
Yeah.
This is my credits.
They're cranking down on the anything you do in the Microsoft to Azure is getting hectic.
Yeah, security is super important. It's really just not worth doing anything over there that I can't do. And I never hit the limit, so I just don't risk it. Let's see here. What am I doing? Authentication. Okay. So we're going to add Twitter.
Oh, it's exciting.
And then I got to add the API key in secret. So I need you to pull me again.
All right. It's happening. Oh, that's pretty exciting. There's apparently Russian roulette scripts for Linux where it takes a random number and you either live or it runs rimraff on root. Okay. That's exciting.
Keys and tokens.
Apparently there's a big cricket match thing. Did you know that? I thought I read somewhere. I don't really know anything.
I'm going to have to regenerate these keys.
Uh-oh.
Which is going to break the live site.
Ew.
Am I still off?
Yes.
I have an idea.
It'll break the live site, or you could create a new.
It's going to break the live site. I think here I have an alternative to this. No, that did not work. Nope. URL list app. I feel like I created another account at some point in time. I know that I did. What did I call it? Probably just a bunch of spam. I call it the URL list. When was this? May 2nd, 2023.
Wow. All right. To keep the chat, going, got a question going. Get your comments in.
Client ID, consumer keys and secrets. Yeah, we're just gonna have to rotate this and then update the live site. There's just no way around it.
Okay, so it'll temporarily break the live site.
It will temporarily break the live site. And to get around that, I'm gonna just get ready here.
Where the question comes from? It comes from my nephew. My nephew is a bright young kid, and he was asking. I had to look up. Apparently, they don't even talk necessarily about a food chain. They talk about a food web now. It's very complex. Orcas eat blue whales, so it's not technically an apex predator to some way of thinking. I don't know.
I'm just getting all this like queued up here in the function app on the live site.
Let me know when it's time to put you back on screen.
Yeah, I'm just thinking I don't
Well,
want to. I don't want to mess with this. Yeah, just keep. I have other ideas. No. Let's do this. I'm actually just going to create a new account on Twitter.
Okay.
I just don't like any of this. If I can figure out how.
Oh, how to create a new account?
I don't even know.
Burke Holland plus Twitter account 3.
Yeah, but how do I can't figure out how to sign out.
In private window?
Settings and privacy, your account. Your account. I can just go to a private window.
Yep.
All right. Create an account. Plus.
While you're doing that, I'm going to show, let me see, build 2024 desktop.
Let's use email instead. August 24th. My birth date, and then I get to scroll back in the picker way further than I want to. Authenticate your account. I am a real person. Select an image where the total fingers add up to 4. That's 5. That's 3. That's 2. That's 4. This is the weirdest exercise I've ever been through. All right, continue your action. All right, they sent me a code. $13. Right. No, private window. Okay.
Trying to look up one of my favorite talks from Build to show off, but it's
skip for now. Skip for now. Skip for now. I don't want to see any of this stuff. So now I'm going to go to developer.twitter.com and I'm going to log in. I'm already logged in. Developer portal. Ready to build on X. Indeed. Sign up for a free account. Describe all of your use cases.
wow.
Logging in only. Using Twitter to verify and use the login name. No information is stored on the
server. You're creating a developer. Yeah. Aspire. I agree, that was a good one. Where was my 13?
Twitter's got this weird thing where when you do the developer account, you have to enter reasons for why you're doing things, and they have to be a certain amount of characters.
Yeah. Oh, does it like verify them, or does it just kind of?
No, it just wants you to write like, give me 250 words on why you need this developer account.
Okay.
You just fill it out. Yeah. I understand that I cannot resell anything.
Wow.
My account will be terminated. Well, you've already done that once, Twitter, so I'm not afraid. Something went wrong. Please try again. Oh, okay. Okay, so we're in. This is our default project, projects and apps, default project. Actually, what is this default? I don't want this. Delete this. Delete the app. 1799129817880698888 hour what?
Okay.
0.
Just to put something on screen while you're doing that, I'm going to share. Oops, no, don't do that. Don't do that, John. Get you off the screen. Okay, I'm going to put me on screen. Present, share screen, window. This was a fun session I liked at Build. It was that guy there. This is a fun one. This was Hanselman led it, but it was all about this developer productivity. And there's all kinds of neat things about like Windows Terminal and all kinds of like, tips and tricks. Did you see that one?
I didn't.
It was really good. It was like there's just so many different random tips and tricks and stuff. And between like everyone showing like, did you know you could do this? Or it was a lot of fun. They open sourced the sudo for Windows command on there, so it was cool. Yeah, good stuff.
All right, hold on, John. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, well, while you're doing that, then yeah, what was fun on there? I'm gonna see what. I don't have audio shared, but I'm gonna try and skip through. There was, yeah, Kayla showing off really cool stuff. There was stuff like DevBox stuff. There was and then towards the end there was some neat stuff with Power Toys. Yeah, Windows sudo Power Toys. This was a neat trick about mark mode in the Windows terminal, which I didn't know about that. So that's a neat thing. It's Control Shift M puts it in mark mode, and then you can do Shift tab and select stuff. So like if I do, I'm not sharing that window. But anyways, I learned some neat stuff out of that. That was fun. Yeah. Aspire. Aspire is a thing. It's exciting. Oh, my Posh. Hanselman showed off some of my Posh stuff. That's fun. Gotten simpler to set up over time. What else? Yeah. Burke's gone and he's doing all the coding. I don't know what else, if I have any fun code to show off. I've been doing Aspire stuff lately, mostly. Yes. Play some music again. Oh, this was neat too with a run book.
All right.
That was fun.
Okay, you can throw my screen back up unless y'all are in the middle of something. I don't know.
We are not. Boom.
Your call.
Yeah. Okay. It's on. So you were able to create the identity provider. Uh-oh, Burke, it's showing your key and your secret.
I don't care.
Okay.
So we're adding the identity provider here. Okay. Now our site is here. This value. So what we can do is something like this. Is this right? Or off Twitter login? Off Twitter login?
Yeah.
No. Oh, hold on. It's in the
Is it
code. It's in the code. Let's look at the code.
You're gonna have to rotate your key, Burke. People are gonna create
okay.
Twitter bots.
This is the least of my worries right now. In the template, what are we looking at here? It is auth login Twitter. Well, so why is that not working?
Do you need to include stuff after that?
This page isn't working right now. I got a 500. I know why. Because we need to set up some stuff on the Twitter side. Which we'll do now. So app settings. So we want to set up authentication. We're going to read post and profile information. We're not going to request an email because we don't need it. It's a web app. And we need a callback. So our callback is going to be
your post login migration page.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, what did I call that here? We signed in before, not Visual Studio Code. I don't know. So this is the code account. So this is weird, like their developer page and their just maximize. Okay. So let's go. Shouldn't there be like what's happening here? There we go. I feel like I already did this.
Let me know when I need to bring you off screen if there's any things.
Bring you off for a second.
All right. You're off. Oh, I should be using my Stream Deck.
This is a fairly miserable experience with Twitter.
Creating user accounts, signing in and out of set accounts. But important.
Okay, you can put me back on here.
Okay. Burke is back.
So I'm looking at the way that the other
$5,000 a month?
Am I in now correctly? Yes. Okay, so the URL is login. Let's see how this is set up here. So this right here, Twitter callback. This is what we actually need. So it's this here. That's what we need.
Okay.
Website. This is it.
So the
organization name. Optional. Say no more. Here is your client ID. Done.
All right. Saved.
Copy. Yes, I saved it. All right. Does this work then now? No, which means this still isn't right. So let's go to authentication. For Twitter, app client ID. The client ID and client API key, API secret setting name. Secret value. Twitter provider authentication secret, show value.
Oh my gosh. Everyone's freaking out, Burke. Your
I know,
keys
but
are
it
no
doesn't do it. It
Nvidia.
doesn't do anything at the moment. It doesn't do
Does
it.
nothing.
Y'all, it's okay.
Just gonna rotate the key.
I'm gonna rotate it. This is just you're a full part of the development experience.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Get your pull requests in.
We're still throwing a 500. Why are we throwing a 500?
Do you have any logging going on? It's a function. You could check your function log stuff.
Keys, API key and secret. Is it access token and secret? Is that what I need? I think maybe that's what I need. Generate. Perfect.
There it is. Everyone get it.
All right, take me off the screen so chat will stop freaking out. Even though it doesn't do anything.
That's not a thing. And there is
all
actually
it's gonna do is authenticate people to Twitter. That's it, and return their name. I'm gonna start over with the authentication here. Move authentication, add identity provider. It's Twitter. API key. API, it literally says API key and secret though. This is access token and secret.
Disturbing.
API key and secret. Regenerate. Copy. See, they've already been rotated, chat.
Oh no.
And copy. Require authentication. Yes. Okay. But this is still throwing a 500.
So like in the function, doesn't it show what the 500 issue is?
It doesn't.
What?
Yeah, there's no way to see it.
No, I mean in Azure. Okay, wait. So you're back
Like
on
in the logs?
Yeah, logs or even App Insights.
Like, I just want to see the logs. What is all this?
That's the new thing.
I have to do this?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I do. And then, yeah, if you go to the resource.
What? Just show me the logs, man.
Then you click up at the top with the arrow. You don't need logs, you need graphs of logs.
Apparently. Learn more about log analytics. Just give me the log. I'm begging you. What is this? How do I look at the log? Exceptions, maybe?
Yeah. You may need to enable it, they're saying.
Requests? What even is this? I don't even know what I'm doing. I just wanted to look at a log file. Is that not a thing?
They say under diagnostic settings, logs cost money. Okay. Yes. And then you need to. Oh, geez. I mean, maybe. So up above, it does say failures. There's a thing where it says failures. In the investigate performance failures, blah, blah, blah.
Reports failures. Failed requests. What are the 3 slowest pages? Failing dependencies, failed operations.
Yeah, people are saying you need to actually capture the logs or something first.
Am I not capturing logs? I don't understand.
Okay, one other thing potentially, if you scroll up on the left, way near, yeah, there, see it says investigate and there's a failures. Huh. It takes a little while. Oh, Frank's saying you can stream the logs from the VS Code extension.
Oh, can you?
I don't know.
That would be nice.
Everyone's saying they're happy to see that we're having the same experience. So this is somebody saying, what are we trying to do? It's a little complicated. We've built a second version of an app. We're trying to migrate people from Twitter off to anything else. GitHub, Google, Facebook, whatever, and OAuth login. And so we're building this, Burke's building a function app that somebody can log into with Twitter and their new thing, and it'll migrate their account. Smab UK is saying go to overview and then the logs tab.
When I clicked on, I mean, this is
It's a lot.
This is a rough experience, man.
Okay. Okay. I'm thinking click the X in the upper right and go. Oh, I know. View in logs. It is a function app.
It's just not recognizing that anything is wrong here.
Okay, so Smab is saying go to overview and then the logs tab. And then logs. No.
I don't see a logs tab.
Does it say log stream in overview near the top? The orange one.
I think that's where we just were. No, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Connected. It's like exclamation point. Yeah.
And now what?
This is what we were looking for, I think. Now, if you, I don't know, check your, refresh that page, see what happens in there. Nothing. It's like it's not going to the thing. It takes a few seconds before it really starts. Frank says.
Why is this not? Well, this should work just fine. This is very uncomplicated. Let's look at the quick start. Register your application. We did that. Enter the HTTPS, append the auth login Twitter callback. Yes, we did this. The bottom of the page, type 100 characters. Yes, I did that. I got the API key and secret. Yes. Yes.
You did that.
I understand the authentication flow. If you enable application logging, you will see authentication authorization traces directly in your log files. If you
Yeah, and log stream, people are saying to check your verbosity level. And yep. And failed request tracing too. I was thinking about that.
Let me just double check some stuff again here.
Does it show in here?
No.
Like requests? Okay. Hit the endpoint and leave log stream logs open. Do we have the log stream tab open in one window? That might be good too. Like log stream, and actually just copy that tab and just leave it running. Yeah, that works. I like whatever developer set that up. They're like, it's not just connected, it's connected. Like
connected.
So yeah,
that's what you always wanted. See, like why?
TW migration. I could hit that. TW
Dude, it's like all the off is. Why is it returning a 500 on everything?
page isn't working, and we don't see anything coming in. And wait, you went away from it. Don't.
Oh,
go.
sorry.
Because the thing is, yeah, we need to keep that
Log level, verbose.
All right, and then see also to the left of that it says App Insights logs. What are the other things there? No, I do think we want App Insights. And then do we have failed request tracing? Is there a way to turn that on for this one?
I don't know how to do that.
Leave this tab open and create a new, or go in your other one. Yeah, okay. Oh, look, something came in. Look at all that. I don't know what all it's saying. It's saying some things. Yeah, let's move us over here.
It says it's running. Man, this just makes zero sense. This just doesn't make any sense. This should not be hard.
Yeah. I'm continuing to hit that page, by the way, and like we're not seeing stuff roll in. It does seem like if the request is failing, like maybe something failing before it's getting to it. And in Azure and websites, I've used failed request tracing for that, but I don't know if you can do that in functions.
That's not working either.
500. Is it started? Is it run? Extension bundle.
There's just nothing in here.
Yeah.
It's like it's just completely fine. It's like, you got no issues, man. It's all good. Look at you.
Restart the function app?
I think that this is because I required authentication.
Oh.
Allow external redirect URLs. No. But I think if I change this, this will work. No, it's like the whole thing is just broken. Why? This was working like 5 seconds ago. There's nothing in the logs. I just don't understand at all.
I'm trying to think if there's more settings in here we can do. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's even hitting it. You have 2 triggers / home.
All right, I'm going to back up.
People are asking if we can directly test the function, like just run the function.
No, I can't. I tried. I can't. I actually want to delete this identity provider again.
Okay.
And like, I just want to get back to a running state.
That makes sense.
How do I just delete this provider?
Authentication settings, edit. Oh. Yeah. Did you test in the portal? Did you test running the function?
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to need to drop off Twitch soon. People that are watching can pop over to YouTube, but there is a Python Pulse coming up in 10 minutes. And so I'm going to need to drop off of the Twitch.
All right. So let's remove that. And then let's back up. So like this is running. Okay. Let me go here. And that's running. Okay. So it's working. It works.
Okay. So it was specifically
here, yes. See, we see the logs. Okay. So now we want to do authentication.
Yeah.
So we go to authentication. We add a provider. We select Twitter. I'm going to make sure we're getting the right keys here.
I was muted the whole time. For people watching on Twitch, I've just put the link to YouTube where we are, which it's just the only live stream on the .NET YouTube.
All right, take me off again.
Okay, good timing. All right, we are dropping off the Twitch. We're going to a YouTube only. Here we go. Remove. Yes.
Am I off?
You are off.
Okay. I need to find. I'm going to try this again.
It seems unfair. We already have a hard challenge, and then the function freaking out on us.
I mean, this is this is what it's like.
The process.
Yeah. This is why it's so bad. But your app may still need to make additional authorizations. Decisions require authentication. Allow authenticated access. Yes. Token store. Collects and stores and yes. Okay. There's no scopes for Twitter. Now let's refresh here. Maybe we can restart this thing.
Let me know when we can go back on.
Maybe. Yeah, you can put me back on.
All right.
So let's restart here. Yes. Now let's go back to this page, which was working, and it's still working.
Woo!
That's good. Okay. Now let's go here and try auth/me. 401. That's what I would expect.
Because it's saying not authenticated. Yep.
500.
We don't like that.
I do not understand. There's got to be a problem with the only thing it can be is that it doesn't matter. We're going to have to regenerate these. Is it this instead? Should I try these consumer keys and secrets?
There's also a bearer token.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Okay.
Access token and secret. API, consumer keys. This is the one that we were using.
Okay.
We could try client ID and client secret.
It's weird that it shouldn't just give a 500. Does the app like blow up if those keys are not set, or
Apparently.
should we add code in that says that handles that?
We can't. We can't do that. We're going directly to .auth/login/Twitter. We have no control over what the server does.
Seeing if anything shows in the console.
So it's saying app ID and it's saying client ID, but then when you come over here, it says API key. So I'm going to use the client ID and the secret. Let's go to edit the secret. I'm going to use the client secret. And then it's still a 500. I mean, this is why, John, what I really want to do with this app is just like put a box on the Twitter login that's like, hey, Twitter login's gone. If you want your list back, send me an email. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. And you could create one that's like URL support at gmail.com or something like that. Because how many user can we do a query? How many active users? I don't know.
Yeah,
definitely. So, I mean, I've got a ton of them. But
we can see how many active users, like people who've logged in and created lists, and the last time they logged in.
Because what's this, to talk through it, this is a pain in the neck to automate because of all these keys and all this stuff. But it's a simple database.
Yeah, you can see how bad this is.
But it's terrible. Just a database update. You would need to hash their username and then do an update.
Let's go look at our database and see what we're actually dealing with here.
And we did talk about like using the same name, but so I could create like Burke Holland at some site you're not using. And
so we're going to do select start from C where C.user ID. Is it user ID? Let's see here. User ID is not null. It's not equal to empty string. I don't know if that's a valid query. Looks to be.
Okay.
Okay. So then now what we want to know is, we can't do a count in, this won't work, I don't believe, in, that's correct. So
can you do count one?
I forget. I don't know what the syntax is. Maybe you can look that up while I'm doing this here. So this is our where. It's actually, let's pull this back and see.
Yeah, you do select count parentheses 1.
Select count parentheses 1
instead of star.
Instead of star, like this.
Yep.
So there's 3,450, but they're not distinct.
So yeah, so do instead you want to do the count of usernames, right?
Right. Of distinct usernames.
Distinct usernames. I don't think that's right because you're
that
still
can't be right. Yeah.
You need to join or no.
Can I select distinct?
C.user ID.
Okay. So here's all the user IDs.
So, but that's only the first 100.
That's the first 100. So we need a count of this. Can we do count? Will this work?
Cosmos.
No.
DB distinct count.
This is where I really need Copilot. In fact,
you oh, that's not great. Yeah. Select distinct count.
select account 1 as total distinct records from select distinct.
That's what I'm
Okay.
seeing on Stack Overflow
Yeah.
too.
Yo, Azure Functions has let me down today. Copilot never lets me down. I love it so much.
Copilot's rocking.
Distinct.
Yeah.
One. Oh, wait. I can, for the as, shouldn't matter. Will this work, or is Copilot also not good at writing?
No, it's totally going to work.
1063. Now,
Yeah,
what I want to know is
where they've made an update in the past
30 days. For that, we're going to look at the timestamp. Now, I know this because I've talked about this before.
Beautiful.
Cosmos DB automatically adds a timestamp. The number is described as an epoch value in seconds since an item was last modified.
1970.
Number of seconds since January 1st, 1970.
You could ask Cosmos for that. Give me a
yes.
epic.
Let's see if you can get it.
You could
limit.
set up. Yeah.
Limit to where the TS field is within the last, 6 months?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes, come on. It's killing it.
Does not directly support date manipulation functions. You would need to calculate.
Please calculate this value for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Calculate a TS.
Please calculate the value of 6 months ago timestamp. Today's date is 6/7/2024. It doesn't know the date.
Oh.
No, I want you to calculate it.
Oh, there isn't.
It doesn't want to do the calculation. Okay, so what does it want us to do?
Okay, I'm doing it.
You're doing it?
I'm using Bing. Bing Copilot. I said, please calculate a Unix epic timestamp for 6 months ago. Today's date is, and I pasted it in. Okay. I'm going to pass this over to you. Copy. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I believe that is the epic.
You giving it to me on StreamYard?
Yeah. Is that cool?
I got to find it. I got a million browser windows open.
Or you could go to Bing and type it in the thing. It'd totally work for me.
Submit what?
Not even. I mean, yeah, that works too. Please calculate a Unix epic timestamp for 6 months ago. Today's date is. So I actually lately for Copilot, I've been typing directly in the browser address bar. I don't even pop open Copilot these days.
Oh, you just go straight to Bing?
Yep. Bingle it.
So curious factoid, y'all. One of the things that I complain about with the VS Code team, with GitHub Copilot, is that I don't want all this, right? I only want this answer right here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this is my complaint. And there is a reason why this stuff is here.
This
is actually necessary.
It's for transparency, right? But what you can do, you can say return the data in JSON format.
You could, but this is an interesting thing. What we've noticed is when you can sometimes get the right answer, right? You can just get the answer. But what you actually need to do is you need to have it put the answer in a section that's delimited by something so that you can parse it out. Because if you don't do that, the chance that the model is going to give you a wrong answer skyrockets. And here's why. When it does this, it's thinking out loud. And if you don't let it think out loud, it gives you the wrong answer.
Yeah. It needs to show its
crazy thing about large language models.
Yeah. Yeah. The fact of showing the work, it's actually generating this data, and the data is part of getting the right answer.
It's part of the prompt. It's part of getting the right answer. So you can't tell it to, it can't not do that. So instead, what we do is in Copilot is we actually tell it to put the answer in a specially formatted block, and then we parse the answer out. The thinking is still there. Yeah.
I saw you talked about that in your presentation at something or other recently. You did that talk. It was really cool.
Which one?
Was it VS Code Day?
Oh, was it the View Source note?
Yep. So, but yeah, then you put it in a block. So you could say, return the answer in JSON format at the end of your response or something.
Now I have so many browser windows open. I need to declare bankruptcy. I think it's this.
Does it have to be in quotes or something? No.
I don't know. 172 people have logged in the last 6 months. That's non-trivial.
Yes.
What if we expand this? Oh, no. Where's my previous conversation? Here it is. Expand to 12 months from today. Okay. No, what happened? What?
It did 12 months in the future. You need it to do his 12 months ago.
Oh. To get the current date, add 12 months, subtract 12 months.
From today.
From today. I probably don't need to spell that correctly, but that's interesting. Like you'd think it would know based on the conversation that like I asked you for 6 months ago.
Yeah, but I mean, yes.
So in the last year, 172 people. So it doesn't really change much. We have about 170 active users.
Yeah. Well, could we're not blocked, but this is tricky. Like we're having trouble figuring out how to do this. I don't know, man. I'm wondering, it might be simpler if we did create the new site, make the new site live, start importing, then I'm trying to think if we could kind of go for it. Oh, somebody's saying the timestamp didn't change, which is possible.
Oh, it didn't? 16. No, it did.
Okay.
No, that they're right though. It didn't change. Did I get the answers? 1670422 It didn't change.
I was wondering about that. 170.
That can't be.
For 12 months ago. Today's date is June 7. I think just retype the question.
Epic timestamp converter. Convert epic to a human readable. Okay. What is this? December 7th, 2022. Human date to timestamp. Month 6 from 2023. I don't care about the rest of it. It's this.
Cool.
$118.
No.
We're dropping.
Wow.
We're bleeding users.
How can that be?
Well, because the other one goes back to 2022. This one I scoped it to just last year.
118. Okay. Could we create, if you needed to, you could also create, and I would help. We could create an email address that goes to both of us. We could create a console app that just does the insert.
Right. We would just handle it on our side. And we basically say, hey, your lists are gone. Twitter login is gone if you, but then we have to verify them. We have no way to verify people.
Oh. That is a problem. And I was going to say, like, could they log in and it'll give them a special value or something, but we're back at the same problem at that point, right? Could we using auth, could they log into Twitter auth on a special page we create and it gives them a key that's good for 24 hours? They email us the key and we have 24.
But how are we going to match the key?
Because, yeah.
And we can't do Twitter off. It literally doesn't work. Like there's just no way around this, John. We have to run these people through Twitter. We have to. Okay. We're going to have to broaden the scope of our thinking here. What if we use something like Okta? Is that possible? We could just use Okta, send them through Okta?
On a new site.
No, not that. Is it? It's Okta, right? Or no, it's Auth 0.
Yeah. By Okta.
Okay.
So is the idea create a single?
I mean, all we really need to do is have them log into Twitter.
Oh, so you're just saying the exact same thing. Would it still be a function app using?
I don't know.
Okay. Now, yeah. Okay. Is there a way where we could basically say you export from the old site? We leave the old site up using something like old.theurlist.com. I'm able to log in there and I'm able to export it as a JSON file.
Wait.
I'm in suspense.
See if this works. See if it works on Okta.
Okay.
The connection is not enabled. Okay. Enable.
Switch.
Access denied. Callback URL not approved for this client application. Dude, this is so nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Okay. So setup guide. I need to do.
Is there something in the Twitter app that we need to do?
Yeah, I need to add the callback. So let's see here. Right. What does it want me to do?
You need to change over on the Twitter app.
Your callback URL is this. I just need my domain. What's my domain? It's this. Right?
Maybe.
And then it would be like, I just need somewhere to like copy some text here. It's like this. Then it's this. Get out of the way, sidebar.
There's a thing actually in the top of the screen. Well, that works too. Top of the screen. I thought there was a thing.
Right? That's the domain tenant. Okay. So then it's like this.
Change the what or yeah, okay.
And then it's like this. How do I get back to authentication? What are these icons? Getting started. What's this?
Readiness check.
Authentication, social. Here. Try the connection. Haha.
Look at that. Okay. It works. Okay. Question, could we use this from our function app or would we create just a totally separate thing?
Why is this not working? This doesn't make sense. I don't understand, man.
Well, now it won't because the callback's changed.
Yeah, the callback's changed. True. Okay. Anyway, so now I wonder if we can just integrate this with the Blazor app to where you click on a button and it just uses like, let's just use Okta.
Use Okta in the Blazor app?
Yeah, let's just do it all within the Blazor app.
Oh, so we don't need a separate migration site. We just update our new.
Well, no, because we should be able to call this thing, right? We should just be able to send them through this.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so in this case, then I don't know what to do now, though.
We have two different, okay, crazy thing here. We could technically keep Twitter off in the new URLs then. We could basically, you click on Twitter, it takes you through Okta. You click on any of the others and it goes through the functions easy auth stuff.
I wonder if then we could do that. But then the entire flow changes just for Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The how we get the user data changes, how we handle the client principal changes. We have to basically, John, it would be better if we just said we're not going to use the authentication in static web apps at all. And then once we do that, then we lose the emulator. Any value the emulator provides.
Yeah. Okay, well, yes and no. We could just say like Twitter's a weird special case. Yeah, we can't use the emulator for it, whatever. It's its own stupid thing. But everybody else, for local development, for everything kind of going forward, we still keep, I mean, the emulator is super nice to be able to test local auth and everything, right?
But if we add Okta to the application, that means that anytime someone logs in, or tries to do anything in the app, we need logic everywhere to say, is this a Twitter login? Yes. Okay, then we need to call Okta and parse the client principal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it won't be, there is no client principal for Twitter. It won't be there.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, I don't think we can just keep Twitter auth around. We could use to migrate people off.
Okay, yeah. So we could
it just seems like the effort would be.
Okay, but wait, now we can create a migration page in the Blazor app that is just like the where's Twitter auth. You click on it, it goes to a special page in the Blazor app that says, okay, let's migrate you over. You click on it, it goes through Okta, and then you do the rest of the flow that you want to do.
Right. We just need to figure out how to build that with this.
Okay. So question, we've been going for 2 hours. Do we want to kind of I think we have a plan going forward. Do we want to basically put a bookmark?
We could. And then I think I'm going to spend the rest of the day working on this because I think that we're not too far off here.
Mm-hmm. I think adding a separate special case migration page into the Blazor app, then that integrates with all our other stuff.
Yeah, it's all in the same app.
This seems like a much simpler
idea. Yeah. And for the record, like, we've got to provide some feedback on this experience.
This is the authentication just being like, nope, sorry, 500, nothing.
Versus Okta, or Auth0, which was just like, no, it's not configured correctly.
Yeah.
So easy to do.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, it's good. I need to eat anyway. I feel malnourished.
Okay. Well, so I'm excited though. I think we do have like a workable plan going forward. We're able to authenticate. I'm happy to help on that Blazor page too on migration. I feel like I haven't been able to help on the other stuff because it was kind of a whole separate thing. But now if it's in the existing app, we can totally do it. Okay. Wonderful. Lunchtime. Thanks for hanging out with us. We still have 33 people.
That was rough.
I mean, yes, but I think we got there. I think we have a new exciting plan. So I'm going to throw up the thanks for watching. You're going to eat lunch. Great success, I think.
You guys are avoiding the problem by changing this stack. Yes. I mean, there's just no other way around it. Yes.
I mean, yeah, basically, right?
Because the thing is, number one, we tried not to change the stack, and number two, like, I feel like this is it's a one-off thing. We just have to get over this hump, man. Yeah.
But then once we do that, we have this one special case migration page. It has its own. I love this though, about not littering it through the entire app. It's one page. It's like, oh, you want Twitter? Go over here. let's do your thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a really good example of just using the right tool for the job.
Yeah.
And if we're being honest, we work at Microsoft, so we're trying to use those tools, but maybe those tools aren't always the right answer in every circumstance. That's just reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. We haven't built this. We haven't made it work with Auth 0, so we may come back next week and be like, that doesn't work either, y'all. And here's why. Yeah. I don't want to speak too soon.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Chat.
I'm going to play the happy lunchtime music.
Yeah, do it.
Let's do this. Okay.